revenues are generated through, you know, we don't get government funding. We get the odd grant, and we're always searching for grant opportunities. But admissions to the center, donations, bequests, legacy bequests. Those are the fundamental, opportunities for revenue. And one of the things that we are consistently trying to do, and we'll be putting a focus on, is the awareness of the center locally, particularly locally in the Central Island region, and then to the South Island and North Island as well, and the Gulf Islands, and that's a big piece. So that awareness through advertising, public relations, and associating ourselves with organizations who want to share their passion for wildlife, I think is a great opportunity for us. And I think if we focus our energies appropriately, we'll sustain the legacy that the Campbells have created since 1985, and sustain it and grow it. So it's where a focus of our energy will be.
The government doesn't see it as a priority, where we do. They see whole species, where we see the individual animals, and we feel they're important, and so that's where we kind of wish that we could work together a little bit better with them. Yeah, the treatment center, that's been a real blessing to us. We've been very fortunate that we have a treatment center. That means that we don't have to take the animals off-site, and put them in with dogs and cats and things like that. And Dr. McCady can just work on the animals right here. And so we're really fortunate that we can do that. We work quite closely with Dr. McCady, and he's a coordinator for the Vancouver Island marmots. So he's always back and forth from Mount Washington, so we have quick access to him. He lives in Nanaimo, Dr. McCady, and we've worked together, I think we worked together like 24 years or something. Yeah, so we
Does he volunteer his services?
Yeah, he volunteered his services, yeah. And he's just a really good vet, wildlife vet, excellent.
My oldest son is 38, and after that followed two sons, and especially my third son. It was his favorite thing. We spent the summer here, and we'd come to this place so many times. And it's a great education. And so my granddaughter was asking, "Oh, is this like a zoo?" And I could tell her that it's actually a hospital instead. They save animals here, which makes it so much more precious.
This here's a centrifuge, so we can spin all our own blood down, urine, and things like this. This is where how we sedate them, and we just have our own operating table right here. Makes it good access. This is our digital X-ray machine. Now we not only use this here, but being portable, we can take it up to the mountain and use it for the marmots up at Mount Washington. So we're very excited to be able to have that piece of equipment. So this nice piece of equipment is a bronchioscope, which we can use on birds. It's really great that we can look down their throats and see if there's any, let's say aspergillosis or anything going on. And it's a little camera, and it's a very nice piece of equipment, which was donated to us from it's the old one from the hospital. So we're very thankful to the hospital to get that. The incubators are really good because we can set up an environment in there and put how much oxygen, whatever we need, temperature, whatever we need to sustain an animal's life, and it's like a little protective environment. And so we're very fortunate to have a number of these, which have all been donated from different hospitals around the island and off the island. So yeah, we're very fortunate to have them. We're very fortunate to have had this donated from a hospital. It's an ultrasound machine, and the nice thing about that is if the animal is, has an egg in it or a baby in it, you wouldn't want to X-ray it. So we have the choice of using one of these. I've always been fascinated with animals. I loved wildlife where I was raised. I was just on the outskirts of Calgary, basically, and so I always was bringing something home and fooling with it, and I just had a real desire to help wildlife. And then in 1984, I think that was a real critical thing. I just got too many animals being brought to me when I was up in the Buckley Bay area. At that time, we were known as the Buckley Bay Wildlife Recovery Center, and then when we moved, we became North Island Wildlife Recovery.
Well, I studied wildlife biology, and then when I moved back to the island, I grew up in Nanaimo, and when I moved back from Prince George, I started volunteering here actually sort of one day a week back in 2007, and then have come into full-time work and now as an assistant manager here. So it's a big learning curve, but it's fabulous to get to work with all these different species. Yeah, we get quite a range. I mean, you never know when the phone rings or somebody drops something off. We get everything from tiny little songbirds and hummingbirds, do a lot of the raptors and the owls and that type of thing, but we see a lot of woodpeckers and crows, flickers, that type of thing. And then we have the Vancouver Island black bear rehabilitation program as well. So most years we have at least one. Some years it's been up to 10 or 15 orphaned black bears that we raise here.
Well, bears, it's interesting because, again, a lot of times people are involved, and so people leave out their garbage or not pick their fruit or something, and mother bear will come in and they'll try and chase it off or whatever, and then they end up having to shoot that mother, and they'll find out it has cubs, and those cubs will end up in a place like this. So that's one way, or mother will get hit on the highway, or again, or there's, we have one of the highest concentrations of black bears and eagles, so you're also dealing with the poaching end of it too, so where bears will be illegally caught, shot or whatever, and the cubs will end up here. We've done hundreds of bears here over the years, and we're very excited that we can do them. And we're learning lots, and we just finished a new facility which is open to the elements, and we're really excited that we can do that for our bears. They play a big part in the environment and Vancouver Island, so we want to make sure they're out there and they're in good numbers. These cameras here, this is all fixed on different cages, and you can see a couple of the bears are playing here, so we pretty well know where animals are. You're just out of sight on that one. There you can see them playing back there, the two. They're this year's cubs. And that way they have access to all these different areas. This way we know when we're cleaning, we have sliding doors, metal doors, and we know exactly where they are, so it's safe for them, so they don't get used to us, and it's safe for whoever's going in there. We don't want any contact with them.
So these monitors are
you can see they're enjoying themselves greatly there. They have a browsing area in this area. There's another area they can go into where there's a water tub where they can go through into another area, and then they have an inside area. This area here is our new facility, and it's going to be all open to the elements, and so we're just letting it grow up right now and get some good growth in there before we allow them in there.
So here in our pond we have ducks, geese, herons and turtles. Our turtles, we have a mix of both painted turtles and red ear sliders. The red ears are usually what people have as pets around here. The reason why they're in this pond, we haven't released any turtles ourselves, but they come in from the streams that meet up with the pond. So if someone releases their pet turtle in their backyard, in the stream or in the bush, eventually they come to a pond like this. They're doing well in this pond. Red ear sliders aren't a native species here.
You know, if you come here and you look around, I mean, it just speaks visually to how this place is, which is to perfection. And you just need to walk around here, and that perfection reflects in sort of almost an ambiance of peace. But, you know, and then that's not only for the public, but when you look at our wildlife that are here and you look at the habitats that they're living in, they're just so well maintained and cared for. And it's amazing. It sparkles. So it just, that visual piece speaks to what this organization is and what its mission does, which is the release and rehabilitation of wildlife, and we want them back into nature better than when we got them.
A lot can be gained by learning about the individual animals. There's nothing greater than returning something home back to the wild that, due to man, it ended up here. That's a wonderful feeling. It's been a joy to do this. I can't see myself ever quitting. I'll just do less and other people do more, and but I just love it so much.
It looks like your facility here just keeps growing from the last time I was here. It just keeps growing and improving.
It is, and we've made exception for it in our wills, and then the land is protected, and we've done everything we can to make sure that it's going to be here long after Sylvia and I aren't here. And like I said, the land has been zoned for this, and we made provisions, like I said. So we're excited about the new people coming up who are going to take over when we can't, and we're still excited to be a part of it.
The island calls me home. It's just a feeling, it's like a rainbow. Try to touch it and it's gone. There are storm clouds on the horizon. Now I know where I belong. 'Cause when I saw her, Vancouver Island, I had tears in my eyes. There ain't nothing like the ocean rolling up to meet the sky. When I saw her, Vancouver Island, I had tears in my eyes.